As Zarthik looked at the most recent addition to the Nexus Station's crew roster, his mandibles clicked in amusement. Compared to his formidable 8-foot frame, the human female stood just chest high. In contrast to the tough alien warriors and traders who frequented the space station, her pale skin and wavy brown hair made her appear even more fragile. "We receive this from the Tearing Coalition," he chittered to his companion, Vexilon, gesturing dismissively at the woman who was currently speaking with Station Commander Krell. "The hatchlings have been more visible to me." As he looked at the human, each of Vexilon's 4 eyes blinked independently. She is identified as Dr. Sarah Chun, a specialist in xenobiology. She appears to be on Kima Prime to study the wildlife.
Prime Kelphma. The harsh, grating sound of Zarthik's laughter caused several beings in the vicinity to glance in their direction. She will die within hours of playing netfall in that death world. Her whole could be swallowed by the shadow claws alone. As the human walked up to their table in the cantina of the station, the conversation was cut short. She appeared even smaller up close.
Zothik concluded that she was more of a prey than a predator based on her soft expression and her delicate features. Despite her small stature, she spoke, "Excuse me," with a surprising air of confidence. "You were talking about Kathma Prime, and I couldn't help but overhear it. I understand that you have both previously been there." "Many times, little one." Zik leaned back in his chair, his razor-sharp teeth glistening in the artificial light.
"Someone of your constitution is out of place here. You might want to reevaluate your assignment and ask to be transferred to a better world, perhaps one of those tranquil guardian colonies that humans adore." "Doctor." Even though something flickered behind her brown eyes, Chun's smile never wavered. "That is very considerate of you, but I am well prepared for Crimer Prime. In fact, I brought along some assistance." "Assistance?"
Overcoming his companion's mockery, Vexilon inquired out of genuine curiosity. She responded simply, "My partner, Rex. He's been with me on dozens of expeditions. Are you interested in meeting him?" Once more, Zarth's sibyls clicked. This time, Murph was barely contained. "Let's meet your partner, little human, as soon as possible. Doctor, I take it he's another of your species with soft skin." When Chun turned on her device, her smile got wider. "Rex, could you please go to the cantina? Some of these beings would like to meet you." The response did not come through the call, but rather as a low rumbling sound that seemed to come directly from the walls of the station. As heavy, measured footsteps from the corridor began to approach, the cantina's conversations gradually slowed down. As the cantina's entrance, designed to accommodate beings up to 12 feet in height, suddenly became occupied by something that had to duck, Zarthik's confident grin faltered. The flesh of the creature that silently entered the room was that of a nightmare. Standing 9 feet tall at the shoulder, the fur was midnight black and appeared to absorb light. Its head was massive, with intelligent yellow eyes and a mouth full of teeth that made Zarthik's own razor dentition look like decorative jewelry. The cantina's sudden silence was followed by the beast's focus on Dr. Chun with an expression that could only be described as affectionate. It moved with the fluid grace of an apex predator over to her table. "Every step is planned and controlled. All meet Rex." The doctor, gratifyingly scratching behind one of the animal's ears, Chun said. The beast weighed close, easily, to 1,000 pounds, closed its eyes and rumbled with contentment at the touch. "Rex is one of the few remaining Tehran direwolves. We've been together for 8 years now." Every instinct told Zark to run, and he found himself hunched over in his chair. The creature's head was less than 3 feet away, and he could feel the heat of its breath. Without effort, one of those massive paws could crush his skull. "Rex doesn't usually travel with me on diplomatic missions," Dr. Chun carried on the conversation. "But Kathma Prime has such an interesting ecosystem. I thought the challenge might be fun for him."
Challenge? Vexen spoke in a barely audible whisper.
She responded, maintaining a light and casual tone, "Oh yes, if there aren't enough alpha predators to keep Rex occupied, he gets easily bored. On our last expedition to Zarian 7, he had to settle for hunting those six-legged panther things." Hardly held his attention for a week. At the mention of hunting, the wolf's ears perked up, and its lips slightly pulled back to show more of those devastating teeth. You now realize that the creature's version of a smile was Zarthik's initial misinterpretation of a snarl, as Dr. Chi tilted her head in apparent confusion when she saw the terrified expressions on the aliens' faces. "Oh, Rex isn't a problem. He's perfectly gentle with friends." She paused, her smile taking on a sharper edge. His definition of a friend can, of course, be quite specific. He has an excellent judge of character. The alien felt as though he was being evaluated by an intelligence far older and more dangerous than his own, as the wolf fixed its gaze on Zark. After a moment that felt like an eternity, Rex huffed dismissively and looked away as if deciding Zik wasn't worth the effort. "Fascinating," Dr. Chun mused, interpreting the V's behavior. Rex says, "You smell of fear and false bravado." She stood, barely touching the wolf's chest as she did so, because he finds that combination rather uninteresting. "Well, we ought to go. Within an hour, the transport to Kefmer Prime departs." The odd couple made their way toward the door of the cantina. Dr. Chin took a moment to look back at the frozen aliens. "Oh, and thank you for the concern about my safety. However, I believe Rex and I will succeed. We humans have, after all, long been the world's greatest predators. We just like to do it in a stylish way." Alongside her, the enormous wolf patted her, its presence transforming the small human from prey into something far more dangerous. A being who had earned the loyalty and partnership of a creature that could kill most sentients without breaking stride. As they disappeared into the corridor, Zarthik finally managed to unclench his hands from the arms of his chair. Around the cantina, normal conversation slowly resumed, though many beings continued to glance nervously toward the exit. "We should recalibrate our assumptions about human capabilities," Vexilin murmured. Zik gave a slow nod, his fingers now clicking with a newfound respect and healthy fear rather than amusement. He made a mental note to investigate these people and their home planet further. It was obvious that no species was to be underestimated if it could transform apex predators into devoted companions. The lesson made sense. When compared to the bonds formed by genuine predators, size did not matter in the vast galaxy. Additionally, the most perilous hunters occasionally arrived in the smallest packages.